Hey everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where last time we took on our level 10 Arcanist quest and learned about the importance of planning and knowing our own strengths and weaknesses. Today, now that we have completed our level 10 quest, we have permission to go learn other combat skills. And so we will be doing exactly that, starting off with the Marauder here at the Marauders Guild. Up until now, we've been playing as Arcanist, which is a caster DPS, which is they cast spells, which takes a little bit of time to do, in order to do a lot of damage, which is DPS, damage per second. Marauder is a bit different. Ho there, adventurer, curious about the Marauders Guild, are ye? Any axe worth wielding needs two hands on the haft and has a blade what can chop clean through a galley's mast. That's the kind of weapon our members train to use with deceptive swiftness and brutal force. If you're of a mind to make the Marauder's art your life's work, then our guild welcomes you with open arms. What say you, lass? Keen to join the ranks? We will join the Marauders Guild. Well then, here's a bit of guild history so you know what you're getting into. It all started with ships, you see. What have ships got to do with axes, you ask? Well, building them would be pretty bloody difficult without a sturdy tool to lop down trees for timber. And since only the navigator herself knows when a ship will run afoul of a storm or worse, it makes sense for the crew's carpenter to carry an axe on board. But any tool on a ship can become a weapon, and the axe is perfect for hooking yourself over the rail of an enemy vessel, letting loose in a whirl of steel, and generally laying waste to all about you. As more seafarers took up the axe as their weapon of choice, so did the bloody art of the marauder begin to take shape, especially among pirates, where strength and skill decided your place in the world. With an eye to assembling crews of battle-ready raiders, the pirates started teaching the proper way to wield a chopping blade to their new recruits. And that's how the Marauders Guild first came to be. After the Galadian Accord was signed, though, the Marauders Guild was never the same. It was taken over, restructured, and purged of its pirate elements. It had been reborn as an institution dedicated to naught but the teaching of axe fighting. The members of this new Marauders Guild weren't no greed-driven cutthroats neither. They were warriors what sought to use their martial prowess for the good of society. Still keen, are ya? Think it over, then let me know if you decide to join our ranks. Alright, so as we are going to be learning as we get into the art of Marauders, a Marauder is a tank class, a new type of role in battle. Up till now, as I said, we've been playing as a caster DPS whose job is to deal as much damage as possible. Tanks, like the Marauder, are dedicated more to keeping the enemy's attention so that your party will be able to get through the battle with as few scratches as possible. Blathota wishes you to reaffirm your desire to join the Marauders Guild. You've decided then, you're ready to join the Marauders Guild? Alright then, all that needs doing now is to speak with the Axemaster himself. Sounds simple. I've seen folks slink out the door rather than put themselves in the path of that unnerving glare. That's the bloke right there in the middle of the room. Warrenzone's his name. Put some steel in your spine and look him straight in the eye when you talk to him, lass. Good fortune to you. Alright. Gotta speak to the Guildmaster to officially join the guild. Yes, I am Warrenzone, Axemaster they call me. Not the most imaginative of titles, I agree, but one should not underestimate the value of directness. I welcome your interest in our guild. The art of the Marauder is used to rend, to cleave, and to destroy. It is not our way to simply outfight our adversaries, we seek to overwhelm them. A Marauder must be the most powerful and enduring presence on the battlefield. We must account for the most enemies defeated. Our role in combat is that of a steel whirlwind, dealing death and destruction without equal. No doubt the question has already been put to you by Blathota, but once more I challenge your commitment. Are you ready for the bloody carnage that awaits an initiate of the Marauders Guild? Well, I suppose I'm going to have to be prepared for carnage. Very well, your name? Attend me well then, Satora. Hold fast to this moment of dedication. The path of the Marauder is a jagged and perilous one. The blood that spills at your feet will ofttimes be your own. I present to you this axe as a symbol of your commitment. Your first lesson shall be how to hold it. Now grip the haft with both hands and set yourself in a solid stance. Alright, and we are gifted our first axe. In order to switch over to the Marauder, your main weapon determines your current class. Changing classes is as easy as equipping a different type of weapon or tools to your main hand slot. So indeed, all we have to do is put a axe in our hand. And thank you for the convenient censorship armory bonus tutorial. And we will automatically switch to Marauder. As Marauder, we are starting at level 1. Which means most of our equipment is not compatible with our current level. We are too high level for most of the clothes we are wearing. So it automatically gets de-equipped, so most people, when they get a new class or a new job, they usually end up naked the moment they try to equip it for the first time. Oh, no, do not do that. I wanted to create a new gear set for Marauder. And then we're going to go into recommended gear, equip what we have that's compatible, and there we go. Now we're no longer naked. You have changed to a new battle class. To lessen the burden of leveling multiple Disciple of War and Magic classes, an experience point bonus known as the Armory bonus is added when slaying enemies and participating in fates. This bonus grows the larger the greater the discrepancy between your current level and the level of your highest class. Use this to your advantage when deciding when and how to raise secondary classes. So indeed, since Marauder is a lower level than Arcanist, we're going to get an experience bonus in combat in order to help us catch up, which is so very nice and convenient and wonderful. Alright then. Now that we have our axe equipped, and we have our stance ready, let's speak to Wern Zone and pick up our first training mission as a Marauder. Axe Master Wern Zone would have you test the edge of your axe in combat. You cut a striking figure, Satora, but heroic posing is unlikely to cut a swath through your enemies. You stand now as a student of the axe. Let us waste no time in testing the edge of your chosen weapon. You shall wade straight away into combat as befits a novice of our discipline. Go forth and slay the bleeding, scurrying, crawling pests that plague the outskirts of Limsa. Lost lambs, wharf rats, and little ladybugs shall be your piteous adversaries this day. Return to me once 3 of each creature have fallen to your blade. Alright, off we go to complete our training hunt. These are going to take us out to, I believe, Middle Enosia will be our destination. And conveniently, since this is not our first class, we start out with our hunting log for Marauder. So these will actually count directly towards our hunting log right off the bat. No need to go back and re-hunt them later. Alright, taking a look at our actions, we start out with Heavy Swing, a weapon skill, the non-caster equivalent for global cooldowns or GCDs. Weapon skills are used instantly, there's no cast time in most circumstances. They have a recast of 2.5 seconds, as a standard for a global cooldown, and this one has a potency of 150. Alright, let's get started with hunting a little ladybug, or 5. Or 3. No need to go overboard. Alright. We got one little ladybug in the mix. Just need one more wharf rat. And gosh, they sure do give a huge chunk of experience when you're at low levels, don't they? They really want to get you out of those low levels fast. Alright, one more little ladybug. Let's stay away from the Gubu and go for this one. Alright, now that we're level 3, yeah, I didn't think so. Probably not till level 5. We'll probably get be able to equip new equipment at level 5. There is some overlap in equipment between different classes, especially between classes of similar roles. At low levels, a lot of the equipment will just be shared between everyone. With it, generally, if it's divided up at all, there will be equipment for Disciples of War, and equipment for Disciples of Magic, with sometimes there being equipment specifically for tanks. So thankfully, especially at these early levels, a lot of our equipment overlaps and we can just recycle equipment as we level up multiple classes. We have learned our second ability, Maim, and we have learned about combos. Melee-oriented classes such as Gladiator and Marauder can chain together their weapon skills to deal additional damage or inflict additional enfeeblements to their targets. This is known as a combo. Combos are not available to Pugilists, as this melee class employs a unique weapon skill chaining system. If a weapon skill can be chained with another, it will be indicated in the weapon skill's help text under a combo action. In the case of the Vorpal Thrust to the left, if executed immediately after True Thrust, the potency will be increased. Some weapon skills must be delivered from a specified direction to maximize their damage. When a weapon skill can be chained into a combo, its hotbar icon will be outlined with a flashing yellow border. Excuse me. This border will fade if the weapon skill is not used within a certain amount of time. Learn which weapon skills chain together to maximize your battle efficiency. Alright, so we can combo abilities together. First off, our first combo is Heavy Swing into Maim. Maim is another GCD. If we use it without being in a combo with Heavy Swing, it does 100 potency. If we do it in combo with Heavy Swing, it does 250 instead. So let's see, that's plus 150 potency just from comboing it after Heavy Swing. That is an entire additional Heavy Swing. Or I guess more precisely, plus 100 potency to just using Heavy Swing over and over. Plus 100 potency every second attack. Alright, so let's go ahead and get some practice in with these combos. Heavy Swing and then Maim. That increased damage will help us out quite a bit. With these low-level enemies with not a lot of health, they won't save too much time. But as we get to stronger and stronger enemies, that increased potency, about 50 extra potency per attack, it adds up. It adds up over a long battle, and it will be oh so very appreciated to make sure you're using your combos. Alright, with our hunt done, let's return to Wern Zone and report the good news. For some reason, there's something happening here in Limzolominsa. I'm going to leave them be. I knew something felt off when I got to the plaza. Alright, Wern Zone, I returned from my training. You are returned to me a different woman. Already your face shows a harder cast, a realization of the slaughter of which you are capable. But there is much training to be done before you will wield the axe to its fullest potential. Learn well your lessons, build your strength, and make of each swing an instinctive act. Every blow of your weapon will clear another step towards the mastery of the Marauder way. Implacable, relentless, such must be your momentum on both the practice grounds and the battlefield. Alright, next quest will be available at level 5 in 65 experience. So like one more lamb would have done it. Oh well. Now that we have finished off this quest, we're going to do the traditional thing for each of our classes and jobs, and we're going to fill out a little bit of our hunting log. Since our next quest is going to be at level 5, we'll fill out through Marauder 5. So let's see, we've got Aurelia and Wild Dodos down in Lower Lenosia. That sounds like a good first goal. Then we can return to Middle Lenosia to take on the one in slot 4. Alright, I remember Aurelia's being just across the bridge here, and the Wild Dodos being just a little further up the path. Hello there, Aurelia. I am afraid it is time for you to perish. And that bumps us up to a nice level 5. Alright, once I've taken care of this Aurelia, I'll go ahead and check if we perhaps can borrow some equipment from Arcanist. Very unlikely, I have to note. But hey, at least we got the hat, so that's something. Honestly, I'm surprised we got even that. Alright, Wild Dodos, you're up next, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, but it's time for the lot of you to be gone. I need you for training. Also, these animal hides are gonna come in handy. Alright, one more Wild Dodo should finish this off. And then next up, we are looking for bee clouds over by Summerford. Alright, on our way over, we picked up the new ability Berserk. We'll explain that while we're walking over. Berserk grants three stacks of Berserk, each stack guaranteeing a weapon skill attacks are critical and direct hits. These 3 stacks will last for 15 seconds, and you can cast this once a minute. So basically, 3 guaranteed critical attacks and direct attacks if you use them within 15 seconds, which should not be hard at all. If you are playing even remotely, quote-unquote, correctly, just always casting your abilities, then you'll go through that quite quickly. So nice, we got a little 15-second buff for 3 attacks. But yeah, number 1 rule of combat in Final Fantasy XIV. I have always heard it described as ABC, always be casting. Literally, at all times, if you are in combat, you should be using your GCDs. If your GCD is off cooldown, use it immediately. Just attack the enemy with your global cooldown. That's how you get the bulk of your damage out. In between those casts, when your GCD is on its 2.5 second cooldown, use your other abilities to get extra damage in, but always, 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 if your global cooldown is ready to go, you use it. I'm not the best at following this, admittedly, but 99% of the time you want to be following that rule. With very, very rare exception. Alright, bee clouds, where are you hiding? We have a lot of mandragores here. They're on the hunting log, but they're not in the ranks that I'm focusing on for now. I think the bee clouds might be down this way. Got some puck hatchlings around here. Here we go, 1 bee cloud. And look at that! One of our Berserk stacks made sure it went down on the second hit. Otherwise, we would have had to probably go for a 3rd. Very nice damage buff. Yeah, let's see. We're doing 27 with Maim without Berserk. We did like 45 with Berserk. That is a seriously large buff. Whenever Berserk is ready, you'll probably want to be using it. Alright, bee clouds are done. And that finishes off our hunting log through rank 5. Excellent. Let's go ahead and get back to Limsa. And with that, next time on Final Fantasy XIV, we're going to be returning to the Marauders Guild and taking on our level 5 quest now that we are ready for that. I will see everyone next time for more learning about the art of the Marauder. See everyone then.